I'd like to welcome you to the Museum of Visual Materials. My name is Jessica Farley. I am the Director of Education here at the museum. And I'd like to introduce to you tonight Gourmet Chef Cody James of Culinary Adventures Personal Chef Services. Chef Cody James.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have a very interesting class for you today. Basically, this is German Day. We've got Schells Brewery here. You might know them. They own Grain Belt Brewery. We also have some interesting food that we're doing. We're doing a very nice apple cobbler, and then we're doing turkey schnitzel. It's normally done with veal, but we're going to do it with turkey. We're doing some nice spetzels, and then we're going to finish with honey glazed carrots. I'm going to start with the apple cobbler. Now, to begin the cobbler, I'm going to do something a little different because I don't know where my wife put the other piece, but I'm just going to go ahead and peel a little bit of the lemon like so. Just get that zest. I don't mind having the rind in this because we're going to cook it down severely, so it's going to be very tender. And then I've got this beautiful knife here. We're going to take the knife like so, do a quick chop. Now, the reason why I'm doing the dessert first, because it takes the longest to cook. And it's kind of surprising. Most people say, well, why wouldn't you do the entree first? Or if we were doing a salad, do the salad first. But it takes a while to cook, and I don't want to wind up in a situation where we're sitting back waiting for the dessert to get done, because it takes about 45 minutes to cook. Now, we're just going to squeeze lemon juice straight over. And as you can see, I actually removed the seeds with the peeler. Now, I'm just going to peel this apple real quick. And then cut it in half first. There's a reason why I'm cutting it in quarters before I peel it. It just makes it a lot easier to do, as you will see. And here we go. And I'm not going to use this. As you can see, I actually just pulled out all the apple that I actually need. So I'm only going to do half of this so I can show the preparation on it. Then just do a quick peel. Then we're going to get rid of this. I just added a little cinnamon. Now I'm adding a little bit of vanilla. And then I've got some sugar back here, about half a cup. And then we've got some brown sugar. And I'm going to go ahead and add that. And it's about, your recipes are for 6. My recipe here is for all of you. So I'm kind of increasing the volume a little bit. Then we're going to toss these apples like so. Get all that flavor in there nicely. And I've got this bowl here, which is actually an insert for one of my chafing units. And we're just going to go like so. I'm going to go ahead and start the topping. Now, if you take a look at that, you'll see that everything's covered nicely and evenly, but it's not overly coated. And that's very important. You can kind of look at a cobbler and see by how the apples are coated if you have enough of everything you need in there. And as you can see, it's lightly coated, very evenly coated, and it's going to be a very tasty cobbler. I got flour here. We've got butter. And I'm only using like a half a stick here. Then we're gonna take a little sugar, a little cinnamon. Nice and simple. And a little vanilla again. Now I'm only going with a quarter of a cap full there. And then I'm going to just take a little agua For you who don't speak Spanish, that's kind of like water. And then we're going to just mix this together nicely. Ah, that's a beautiful topping. And go ahead and use your fingers. Get your fingers dirty. That's very important when it comes to food. If you know what it feels like, you know, as far as texture is concerned, you'll be consistent with the product. I'm going to add a little baking powder. As you can see, I freehand everything. Then I'm going to mix this up a little bit. Then I'm going to add the egg. And the reason why I'm adding the egg last is very important. By adding the egg last, I can see exactly where I'm at as far as consistency is concerned, and that's the most important thing to me. Because you want it like a light dough. Then you just mix that through. That's the consistency we're looking for there. Okay? Then we're going to I've got my trusty knife, and we're just going to spread this over the top, just lightly, like so. And what we're basically doing is each one is going to actually be like a serving. And there we go. There's your basic cobbler going into the oven. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make some spetzels real quick, and then I'm going to bring up Jace with Schells Brewing Company, and he's going to tell us a lot about his company, and then we're going to go ahead and take a trip out to the brewing company, and we're going to have a little fun there. I've got a little bit more flour. What I'm basically doing is a small batch right now, but 1 egg, that's about 1.5 cups of flour, salt, lemon pepper, then we're going with milk straight in. We're going to beat this down. Now, you just keep moving it until everything is evenly blended. And I'm going to finish this batch later. Reason why is because I cheated. I actually made some earlier. And you just bring this on over like so, and you drop it in the boiling water. And what you're making is little tiny dumplings. Now the reason why I made this batch earlier is because, and this is very important, you want the batter to rest for about 15 minutes, because that way the flour works its way out. All the gluten that's in the flour works its way into the batter, and then you don't have lumps. Now this takes about, once you get it all in the pot, you let it come to a boil, and then you let it rest, or boil, I should say, for approximately 3 to 5 minutes until they're all floating, and you test it and you make sure that they're solid. Our special guest for the evening is Jace with Schells Brewing Company. Come on over, Jace.
Thanks for having me on.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Now, I'm going to keep working for a minute, but tell us about some of the beers that you brought for us today.
Sounds good. A little bit about our company. We're the August Schells Brewing Company. We're the second oldest family-owned brewery in the nation. This year we're celebrating our 150th anniversary, so it's something we're definitely very excited about. We're located in New Ulm, Minnesota, which is about 2.5 hours east of Sioux Falls. It's definitely worth the trip. We do tours year-round. We're located on 30 acres of just beautiful wooded hillside. We have a huge Victorian garden. The Schells Mansion is located on site. You can come check out the whole brewery. We'll take you through. You can see the brew house, our museum, gift shop, and we have a German Rathskeller too. That's where we end our tours and do the samplings.
While I pound out this turkey, let's take a tour real quick, and then we'll come back to that.
Sounds good.
This is the greatest place. It's been here for 150 years. It's been in the same family. Ted Marty, my husband, is the 5th generation. Jace is the 6th generation, and we're hoping that it will continue in the family. It has survived Prohibition. It has survived the Dakota Indian Uprising, which was in the area in 1860.
In the past 150 years, brewing has changed a lot here at Schells Brewing Company. When the brewery was first founded, there was no running water, no indoor plumbing, electricity. You had to get your water from a stream, and you cooled the beer with ice that you harvested in the wintertime. I mean, it was a tough time then. Originally, they were all delivered in big wooden kegs on a horse-drawn beer wagon, and so as far as your horses could go round trip in one day, that's as far as you would deliver beer. Today, we're in 7 states. We, have distributors all over the place. The Minnesota, the Dakotas, Iowa, Nebraska, Wisconsin, Michigan. So we've come a long way. The brewing process is constantly changing and evolving. There's so many different factors that go into a taste profile that we want to achieve. Your different water pH, different minerals that are in the water, your malts, your different grains have different protein levels. Your hops, when they were harvested, the amount of alpha acids, the bitterness in the hops, these are all factors that go into your flavor and your alcohol content.
When you walk around outside, it's just beautiful. It's set in a terrific location. Where else can you go where you have peacocks that just wander through the grounds?
If you want to come out for a great experience, a road trip, by all means, come see us.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Thank you for sticking around. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to strain off the Spätzle real quick and just get this stuff chilling. And that is beautiful. Now, I'm just going to run some cold water over it and let it go. And now, we're going to make a little egg wash. I'm just going with 1 egg. While we're doing this egg wash, Jace, why don't you tell us about some of the beers you brought that you think will be a good complement for the meals that we're working on?
Absolutely. We're a very German brewery, so we specialize in lagers primarily, which is why we're doing the show. So the first beer I'm going to have you try is our 150th anniversary Hopfen Malts. It's a beer we created just specifically for the anniversary. It's a very hop-forward amber lager. We use a lot of German Tettnang hops and some Cascade hops and dry hop it with Tettnang as well.
Oh, okay.
Nice roasty base, solid malty backbone to it. Very crisp, like citrusy hop flavor to it. I think you'll really enjoy it.
I'm adding a little bit of Parmesan cheese to the breadcrumbs. Now these are panko breadcrumbs. They're very important that you use panko because they'll stay nice and crisp for you. And of course I gotta have a sip. That is delicious. Do you sell this beer locally?
Yeah, we do. We are distributed in Sioux Falls area through Dakota Beverage, so I know they'll have it at most of your liquor stores and a lot of bars on tap too in town. So
next thing I want to do real quick is start the honey glazed carrots. Now, the honey glazed carrots are really, really, really easy. We're just going to, real quick, put about a stick and a half of butter. Now, I'm doing a lot of butter because I'm doing a lot of carrots, okay? That's why I brought such a big saute pan.